going on, YouTube? This is Mighty Fan. Happy Monday Night Football to you. Tonight we got the Dolphins and the Colts, so I thought I'd wear my Dan Marino jersey and my Gators hat. That's Florida. You guys gotta admit it matches somehow. But anyhow, yeah. So I thought I'd make a video where it's basically a get to know Mighty Fan type of video. I know that some others have made videos on YouTube describing themselves a little bit about what they collect, why they collect. Basically, kind of like a this is who I am, this is why I'm doing it kind of thing. I know Resurrection did it. Throwback King made a video of this, a couple videos, and so did Tint123, and I thought I'd follow their footsteps and make one. So the general question is, why do I collect? Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. I've always been a collector of something. When I was younger, it was sports cards. I collected mainly basketball, but football and some baseball also. And I did that like when I was young, and it kind of morphed from that into collecting my favorite cartoon character / superhero, Mighty Mouse. Hence the namesake on my YouTube site, channel I should say. And I did that for, just gotta check the time, make sure that I don't go over my 10-minute mark. I did that for about 13 or 14 years of my life. It was I was pretty immersed in it. It was it's probably the collection that I own that's the largest. I mean, I know you've all seen my throwback jerseys, and it's a pretty nice collection. But the Mighty Mouse collection is one that certainly rises above as far as sheer volume goes. I have over 500 items in the collection for Mighty. I was on a collector show years ago on HGTV. It was like 03 or 02 or 03, and for my collection on Mighty Mouse, all sorts of stuff in the collection. Over like I said, over 200 comic books. I had his first comic book, Terry Toons number 38, 1945. I have items of his from all of his decades, from the 40s until right up until current time. I got a couple T-shirts earlier this year, so. But you know, it got to the point where, let me tell you, I did it all. I mean, I did comic conventions, yard sales, flea markets, antique shops. Just eBay obviously was a great source for me of finding stuff. Just all sorts of stuff. I did it all, and it was a lot of fun. And but it got to the point where, you know, as a collector, you just get this feeling like, you know, I think I've accomplished what I want to. Let me move on to something else. And it's not to say that, hey, if I see some nice item out there for him, it's affordable in my price range, I won't pick it up. I mean, I may. But, you know, I got more into the throwback jerseys at that time. This was like a few years ago. And I've always had jerseys ever since I was young. The problem was when I would get the jerseys, they were for the current players. And obviously, replicas, and obviously, you know, those players would go from team to team. So it became more and more difficult to you know, to tell myself, hey, let me get a jersey for a player, and then he's got to be off the team in a year or so, and then or they change the uniform around, or the logo, or the color scheme. There was always something. So I kind of went to the throwback jerseys. My way of thinking was, well, I don't have to worry about those players changing teams or anything. They're already retired. So that's why I started collecting throwbacks. I've always liked sports. I mean, going back to when I was young. And, you know, I remember watching those players when I was growing up. And obviously I collected the sports cards. So, you know, there was that connection. And it went from, you know, sports cards to years later, actual jerseys, you know, throwback jerseys of these players. And basically that's my story. I've been collecting throwbacks for about 4 years now. I really got serious with it about a year or so ago after I joined the site, as I mentioned in other videos. At the time it was Next Level Talk, and now it's JerseyCentral.org. And yeah, so I've learned a lot from being on that site, a lot. And the guys on there are very knowledgeable, very helpful. helped me a lot, learn, and you know, as a collector, it's true what they say. It's always important to know people who are in the know, and the guys on Jersey Central are just that. They really know their stuff, and I'm not, you know, ashamed to say, you know, obviously, you know, years ago, I didn't know any better, and I was collecting jerseys that turned out not to be, you know, authentic. I'm not ashamed to say that, you know, I just wasn't as knowledgeable, I guess I should say, with it, and I learned a lot by joining that site, and I just go for the authentics now, and actually I've saved money, believe it or not. I'm a college student with bills to pay. I've never spent $200 or more on a jersey. I don't plan on it. I don't think I have to. What I do is I just find them on sale. I try to find the best deals I can for authentics, obviously, and you know, whether it's buying them on JerseyCentral.org, whether it's authentic, you know, sellers on eBay, or whether it's the Mitchell & Ness store in Philly during their big sales. That's where I get the majority of my collection. And so when people say, oh, you have to spend so much on them, well, you really don't have to if you know where to look, and that's what I've done. And thanks to the guys on JerseyCentral.org, I've learned a lot about where to find them at good prices also, and again, it's been a great site, great information for me and anybody else. So what do I look for? Well, basically, you know, Throwback, Mitchell & Ness. When it comes to hockey, as you saw, I look for, you know, Mitchell & Ness, but I also look for the CCMs and the old starter replicas. You know, obviously in baseball, it's mainly Mitchell & Ness. And in football as well, and also in basketball. But the basketball, as you saw, I don't have as many as I do in the other sports. It's a collection I'm hoping to build on at some point. I hope to get some, you know, Mitchell & Ness 76er jerseys at some point, and you know, build the basketball collection a little. But we'll see what happens. It all depends on what's out there. One of the things that I did is I made a list for myself. And it's just a way for me to control what I do. It's my way of knowing what I like, knowing what's out there, and controlling what I do. You know, not buying just for the sake of buying. It's actually something that I have interest in getting. And I always felt that's something important to do when you're collecting anything, is to have a budget, to have a list of the things that you're looking for, know where to find them, and then over time, you know, acquire them, and that's basically what I try to do. That's what I did with collecting Mighty, and you know, it's worked pretty well for me. I try to get about one legit throwback a month, barring the sales at the Mitchell & Ness store. At that point, you know, maybe I'll go a month or two without getting something, just save up, go to the sale and buy 2 or 3, you know, jerseys during that sale. That's worked pretty well for me also. But again, I have the luxury of being nearby to that store. I can do that. But yeah, so I have a list, and that's basically, you know, so I know what I'm looking for, and I know what I'm interested in. But I think I better stop this video now, because I think I'm getting close to the 10-minute mark, the cutoff on YouTube. So I'm going to post a part 2 to this video, and I hope this has informed anyone who cared to watch this a little about myself. I'm going to post another one with a little more information. But again, thanks to everyone who has subscribed, and thanks to everyone who has left some kind words for me. Very much appreciated. And I know that J King has just posted a nice video of some of his new pickups. Great jerseys there, man. And you know, you're also wearing a very nice Bo Jackson Royals throwback. That's a beauty right there. I like that All-Star patch on it. I'll have to find that someday in my size somewhere, either on the internet or wherever. But that's a nice one. That's one that I'm hoping to pick up someday myself. But anyhow, this is MightyFan again. I'm gonna put a part 2 to this. So there'll be more to come. All right, YouTube. Peace. Bye.